You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
All right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After the Review. I'm your host, Peter. Joining me again this week is my man, Dhalston. What's up, Dhalston?
What's going on, man?
We're recording this early because we had no moss in the national championship game.
The way I expected, I'll be honest. So
I'm a little upset because the last time we were on, we hyped up Clemson so much.
we did.
And I bet that game against our Ohio State fan, Jack, and lost $50 hairs. And he texted me today, he's like, you want it? I'm like, 9.5's kind of steep. And he's like, I'll give you Bama straight. And I was like,
Easy.
I really wanted to do it, but I have rent. I gotta pay rent tomorrow. Like I said, I'm moving in a new place. I was like, this is a large chunk of change I'm about to invest.
Should have told him to text me. I would have taken that easy.
I was like, I couldn't risk it. And and Ohio State's already started the complaining. Oh, we're missing our defense, and Trey Sermon was hurt on the first play of the game. You couldn't cover Devonta Smith at all.
No, Devontae Smith proved to be a problem once again.
And maybe I wanted to say Joe Burrow's probably had the most impressive Heisman follow-up. Like, he won the Heisman and then dominated the national championship game. I think this might be better.
I know he's a good player, and he's fast and he runs great routes. But like, y'all, you knew, it wasn't a secret. Like, you knew where the ball was gonna go, and you just let it happen again and again and again. Like, the man didn't play in the second half and broke the records in the first
12 catches,
4 minutes of the
215, 3 tugs. Oh,
yeah.
And it's not like anybody was close to him. I think I text one of my groups. I was like, you think you'd cover him?
You think you double him, like run a man underneath and a safety over the top every time? They don't have Waddle. They have Mechie and Billingsley, and they have a running back.
Like, force them to run the ball with Najee Harris.
Right, make someone else beat you, So I don't know.
And we knew coming in, this was Ohio State's weakness on defense. They just gave up the big plays. Everyone said, like, well, nobody scored a touchdown on them with not getting a 20-yard play on defense. I'm like, well, that should probably say something, Ohio State, that you have a problem. And Alabama led the country in plays of 20-plus yards.
They thrive off the big play.
Just everything is downfield. Everybody's open. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous if Texas can get some of these athletes over here. Sark had a pretty good little playbook going on there. They were running a lot of nasty stuff.
Sark's calling some really good stuff. I don't know what kind of. I mean, I'm sure Texas has good athletes. I don't know what they really look like, comparatively speaking. Like, I don't know if you're gonna have a receiver lineup that features Judy, Ruggs, Smith,
and Waddle
and Mechie at Texas, where you have the freedom, plus your running back is Najee Harris and Damian Harris, and
the offensive line can block everything that the defensive front throws at you.
Line in the entire land, and they win that award, and then you have a quarterbacks who just come through that can absolutely spin it. You can say whatever you want about Devontae Smith, but Mac Jones is bald.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing with Sark. He's the quarterback. They're saying he's the quarterback whisperer.
So I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like that, but yeah. I was worried about people in Ohio's livers because we had a wild card weekend. This was like Christmas football weekend with all this stuff.
It was great. Yeah, it was a really, really cool 3 days.
And I was worried about their livers because the Cleveland Browns, I guess we could just go and do it. They won a playoff game.
They did. Pittsburgh kind of gave it to them.
They forgot that the game was being played, I think, on Sunday night.
They just played awful, but Cleveland capitalized and got a big lead and didn't give it back. So props to them.
I do have to say, it's not your night when the first snap of the game, your all-pro, probably maybe future Hall of Fame center snaps it over your quarterback's head for a touchdown.
Yeah, but then when you can't recover the ball.
Yeah, that was so bad. That was so bad.
Let them score. Oh.
Like Ben looked at Connor looked at Ben's like, you take it. No, you take it. Like,
just all around not good.
That's kind of been the knock on Ben, though. He's just kind of, just there. Like, I'm a guy. I'm not diving on that. Like, I'm diving on that ball. I don't care if I'm a quarterback. You're flying on that thing. And I don't know. It's just, he played terrible. 4 picks. I'll give it to Cleveland. They did almost come back. They made it
semi-interesting.
I mean, they were down 12 at the Cleveland 43, I believe, and it was 4th and 1, and 8 minutes left in the game. That's plenty of time. And they had stopped Cleveland a couple drives before, and then Mike Tomlin, what was that? How are you punting that ball? Your quarterback's a tank. Run the ball.
Yeah, just go get it, But I don't know. I guess they were I don't know. I honestly don't know what the thought was there, but
people are defending him. I think Mike Tomlin needs to take a lot of heat for this. They look so unprepared.
I mean, you can say that.
I mean, I feel like the defense didn't stop. Like, the offense played bad. They turned the ball over. The defense did not bail them out by holding them to field goals at all.
Fair. They were giving up touchdowns
left and right. Like, they could not stop. When Cleveland went to their game, like, we're gonna run, and they play action, and they were clueless.
But that's hard sometimes when you know what Cleveland's doing. They're running the ball with those two backs. They're running play action to help Baker and set up guys across the middle, right? So if you can't stop the run, though, like, you just don't have a chance.
I didn't understand. Well, they didn't do too bad against the run, I don't think. I just don't understand how they didn't get any pressure on Baker. Like, Baker is notorious for being terrible under pressure. And Cleveland, what was this? I have the stat. Pittsburgh got a pass rush on 13% of their plays, the lowest this season. They averaged 45.5% almost, 45.45% of their plays this season. They rushed the quarterback. So to get 13% against Cleveland's offensive line is not good at pass pro.
No, I don't know. Either Cleveland was ready or Pittsburgh, like we said, just
oops.
They weren't. Yeah, oops.
That's 2 games in a row. They did the same thing the last time when they were playoffs against the Jaguars.
They did. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's Ben's last game too. It's just sad. So
that kind of feels like it. I mean, they made the man throw the ball 68 times. That's another massive issue. Juju, free agent, old TikTok ass. God damn, son. When are we going to learn? I think Matt keeps pounding the desk on this. Why do people keep giving people bulletin board material? Why?
Yeah. Just go to work, go to practice, go play your game. Don't give people fuel. Like, that's just the issue. Like, you can't give people fuel.
Browns are going to brown. Bad. And then Chase Young, I want Tom. Like, I'm a little bit more okay with Chase Young saying I want Tom, because you should say that because you're a pass rusher and he's quarterback. But of all people, Tom Brady, don't give that lunatic anything to put on his board, because he'll do it. He's
at that point, I feel like if you're Washington, you're just trying to give yourself any sort of edge, because playing with Taylor Heinicke is your quarterback.
He played. You can't blame Taylor Heinicke.
He's fine.
My man played. He probably gave you a better game than Alex Smith would have given you.
For sure. But just all around, like, y'all weren't gonna win that game. So
they tried. They tried very hard. Dude, I knew Taylor Heinicke could ball. He was on Minnesota, and he balled out in the preseason all the time. We had him, and then we cut him because his dumbass sliced his foot open on a sliding glass door and like tore all the ligaments in his foot.
Ew.
Yeah, right. Like, such a weird ass injury. He like kicked. It was like, I think he was drinking or something. He like kicked in a sliding glass door, and it sliced all the tendons of his foot, like in training camp or like in preseason 3 years ago, because he was the backup to Case Keenum, and then like Kirk the first year when we had Kirk, he was like gonna be our guy. It was like, oh, we like this guy
Interesting.
Yeah, so I know he's probably not the future of Washington, but good for Washington. They played hard. Again, I'm very worried about Tampa Bay. I mean, I shouldn't say this. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. I would be worried if I was the rest of the NFL playing Tampa Bay right now.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we kind of talked about this last time. Like, I mean, I said, like, if there's the one team that's like coming out of the NFC that outside of, Green Bay, I don't think Tampa Bay, I mean, you can't lose to the Saints this weekend if you're Tampa Bay.
Well, obviously your season is over, but yes, right. You have to be petrified of New Orleans. I know they're not, because they're arrogant assholes over there. Sean Payton scumbag. We'll get to that later. But Tom Brady has never lost to anybody 3 times. I know that's a fact. I don't even have to look that up. There's no chance he's lost to the same team 3 times, and he's been embarrassed both times. I feel like there's going to be I don't know what Tom Brady has this next level. Just I don't know what it is. Playoff time, he just finds it. Whatever it is, he finds it.
Yeah, I don't think he lets them lose. I I'm worried. I don't think Mike Evans has a big game, but I think AB has a big game this weekend.
I literally text Terrell that. I was like, if AB is playing like this as your third receiver, everyone is in real trouble right now.
AB pops this weekend, like big game.
And they've changed the offense a little bit to hit more on the intermediate routes. And like we said, the Saints did not look good against the Bears at all because their offense is trash.
It got out of hand later, but for a while there, I was like, maybe the Bears might keep this interesting if they could move the ball a little bit, but it's Mitch. So
it was like a Chicago Bears type game. It was like, okay, maybe the Bears force a big turnover and score on it, or like they put them at the 3, or the Bears make a big defensive play because the Saints couldn't move the ball. I feel bad for the Bears offense. That was not all on Mitch Trubisky either. Like, no, guys, it wasn't. I mean, somebody get the man for something, get us a rhythm, anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Saints defense has not been that good. Minnesota hung 40 on them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's definitely that game is for sure one that I'm really looking forward to watching. So hopefully that turns out to be a good one.
The old man bowl. The old man bowl. I think that is the Sunday night. Is that? I think that's the Sunday night.
It is a night game.
It's the Sunday night game, but it's in the dome, so nobody cares. Right. Nobody's in there. It's talk about being the best year to be a road playoff team. This is so nice.
Yeah,
so nice. And I mean, that's why we saw there was quite a few road wins. What was there? 4 road teams won this weekend. It's a little higher than normal. Let's see what else. Rams. I don't want to say that was a huge upset. I think I kind of saw that happening against Seattle. They own that front off. I don't know what it is with the blocking scheme Seattle has, but when the Rams play them, it's not even fair.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised by that at all. No. Especially when you have these games where they're playing within their division. Yeah. It's just like they're so comfortable. Like it doesn't really matter who's out there. Like everybody knows what you're doing, and it just kind of comes down to like who's better. And when you talk about who's better, I mean, I think the Rams they have better players. So
especially, and then it was all over as soon as Seattle couldn't stop that run. I was like, oh, this is real trouble because Wofford did go out. Did you like that? Did you see that hit?
I did.
Did you like them picking up that flag? Because I really didn't. I thought that was a hit. Like, why are you hitting quarterback? Why are you diving so low to hit quarterbacks in the head?
I mean, I feel for Jamal in that case, like in the sense of like he's just like already kind of going down, but then like when you watch it a few more times, it's like you probably could have avoided that. Like Wofford was clearly like fetal positioning already, Yeah,
and quarterbacks get pretty good protection because they're down as soon as they start any downward movement. But again, if it's Wofford. If that was Russell Wilson, there's like 13 flags getting thrown, and nobody picking any flag up there. So that's just kind of the bullshit with NFL officiating, which was super I don't know what was going on with the replays all weekend. Those were all over the goddamn place.
I know. That Colts call.
The Buffalo. If the Bills had lost that game, I would have. Man, that would have been so bad. I don't understand how they didn't call that a fumble. I mean, what did they say? Maybe like the ball of his foot was touching a blade of grass.
No, dude, that's so clear and so obvious. I don't understand.
And there was a couple other ones. What was another one? God, was it a Seattle? There was another fumble that they just didn't call. Oh, maybe the Tampa Bay game. They didn't call a fumble on somebody late. It didn't really matter, but the replay was just all over the place. Again, NFL officiating. What do we got to worry about? But I don't know how healthy Goff's finger. They showed a photo, and Goff's 2 thumbs. I'm gonna try and find it. Maybe sneak it in here for the YouTube video. Like his throwing thumb was like the size of a coffee cup. I don't know how that man threw a football on Sunday.
Had to gut it out, baby. Going with 4 fingers.
Yeah. Coming from the guy who played quarterback, my hand's cold. I can't throw the ball.
Yeah, trust me, I know what that's like.
So I don't know. I know Green Bay's probably not happy at all. They have to play the Rams. That's the last team I want to see if I'm Green Bay.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Who are they going to throw the ball to? Devontae Adams is up well. Devontae Adams on clamps, just padlock. Put Jalen Ramsey on that man. He is not catching the ball. And Devontae Adams isn't DK. That DK like kind of burnt Ramsey a couple of times downfield. Devontae Adams is not running those kind of routes. Yeah,
I'm very interested to watch that one as well. I kind of want Green Bay to win that game, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Boo! We want the 5 seed, 6 seed matchup for the NFC Championship game. Tampa's hosting. I just want the Tom Brady haters to come out and be like, "This is the luckiest man ever. He gets to host an NFC Championship game as a 5 seed."
As a 5 seed? Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then play in the Super Bowl at home if they win.
Home? Yes, sir.
I like that. Other Saturday game, Buffalo, Baltimore. Like we said, Buffalo finally survived. Baltimore, that was interesting. I don't know how I felt about that game.
Why is that?
Because I didn't feel like they did anything offensively that was impressive. Lamar broke one huge run that kind of changed. I mean, it was 10-0, and it was 3rd down, and Lamar swung the tide on that huge touchdown run. But they called a terrible, terrible defense on that play. So they'd been doing a great job all game, just kind of containing Lamar. They knew what he wanted to do. They were sitting there with a spy. They had the ends kind of rushing upfield, and they had the D tackle was spying on the inside because they know Lamar likes to collapse and run up in the middle. And then on that touchdown, they ran an inside stunt, and both linemen got washed out, and they were in man on the back end. So everybody ran off, and that's why it was just wide open. And the safety came up, and the safety missed. And
yeah,
it was GG at that point.
Like they were guessing run there.
They were definitely, which is
run stun up front and just screwed them.
So I still don't know if they can throw the ball. He didn't throw the ball well at all, Lamar. I mean, if you're going to lean into that, I guess you can lean into the whole, we're just going to pound the rock, we're going to try. They did come back from 10 points down. I think that's a lot more in their defense, though. They gave up 3 points.
Yeah, defense was really good.
Was it 3 points after the first quarter? I think it was 10-0 in the first quarter. So whatever, early in the second, whatever it was, they shut down Tennessee's offense. They blamed Derrick Henry. I don't know if you can blame Derrick Henry for that one. They had like 9 dudes in the box, and they were just said, "You're not running the ball against us."
No, they came in, knew what Tennessee wanted to do, and they did everything they possibly could to stop it.
They're like "You are not.
Somebody else is going to beat me." I'm sorry.
You are not
running for 200 on me.
You're not running the after he kind of busted that game winner on him in the regular season, and we're not giving you the read option shit. Like our ends are going to crash hard upfield and then come inside and make a tackle. So I don't know that. I don't know why they didn't throw the ball to A.J. Brown more, because it didn't feel like they could cover him.
Nope, he was open a lot.
And the pick that sealed the game, he missed wide open. A.J. Brown.
A.J. beat him off the line, was running by himself.
No safety over the top.
Nope.
Poor Tanny.
Tanny predetermined he was going with that one, unfortunately. So
yeah, hate to see it. But I'm actually really excited for that Bills-Ravens game. I don't know who's going to win that game. Lamar, Allen, I like it. I'm rooting for the Bills, obviously. I got
fun quarterbacks to watch for sure. I think the Bills win. I think they're just more explosive on offense, and
that is an
Lamar
issue.
Just carries them, and
the Bills' defense is not great. It's just good in spots.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of got gashed by Jonathan Taylor in Indy, though, a little bit.
Yeah, he ended up having a really nice season. So.
I told you in the fantasy draft when we were having the draft.
You called the Marlon Mack
going down
Achilles tear in the first play of the season, and Jonathan Taylor being the freaking workhorse for them. So
all I said was Jonathan Taylor was the guy, and I took Jonathan Taylor in the draft. I knew Marlon Mack was going down. He's made of glass, but anyway, yeah. Yeah, I don't know who. I mean, is Marcus Peters or Humphrey they're gonna stop Stephon Diggs? I don't.
No.
And then Cole Beasley. I mean, Cole Beasley, the unsung hero of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I don't think they're covering Diggs. Lee Beasley in the slot. John Brown the other side. Tight ends. Josh Allen just slinging it. So.
Yeah. Okay. You're selling me more on the Bills. I need this. Of course, all the homers. Terrell was hilarious to listen to this weekend because he's petrified. He was scared shitless to play the Ravens, I think, and now he's like getting Cleveland and he's giddy as a schoolgirl.
Yes. I forget he's a Chiefs fan.
He's like, I don't want to play anybody. But then he was talking shit about the Bills on Saturday because I've been hyping the Bills up, and he's like, they look very beatable. And then I'm like, well, who do you want then? And then he's like, I don't want anybody. Everybody can beat us. I was like, what kind of message are you sending me right now?
You wanted Pittsburgh is who you wanted.
Yeah, but they couldn't get Pittsburgh. Buffalo was getting Pittsburgh. They were either getting Cleveland or Baltimore, and they got Cleveland. I'm sure everyone's ecstatic about that. I don't see Cleveland being close to Kansas City at all.
No. They'll give up a lot of points. And then
But
as long as Kansas City just devotes resources to stopping that run game, they should be fine.
And I don't think, I think they're pretty decent up front. I don't see why they couldn't do that. I mean, Cleveland, they're going to be celebrating all week. I find it so hard that they haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. I find it so hard for them to be focused, and they weren't expected to win. Like Buffalo was the same thing, but they kind of expected to win. So I think it's a little different. Browns fans are feeling it though, and I will say this: this is a spot for the Chiefs to show up. Like, make a statement like, hey, this is...
Don't forget.
Like, we're still the kings in the castle, because they've looked bad the last month or so. So, make a spot. If you don't blow out Cleveland and it's a tight game, I'm loving whoever won that Baltimore-Buffalo game to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, to make it very interesting in that AFC title game for sure.
Yeah, Christ. It is... It's just... all trust Mahomes at this point. Like, it's so hard to pick against them because they are clearly the best team by so many levels, so many stuff. I find it hard to pick against them in the AFC, but I did. I got to keep riding it. I had the Ravens and the Buccaneers. I guess I got to ride it even though.
Oh, I didn't realize you picked the Ravens
yes.
to come out of the AFC.
I had Ravens beating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game in Baltimore, but that game's going to be in Kansas City. If I could have reassessed before the playoffs, I would have said the Bills and the Buccaneers because I just had to say with Tampa. I had Tampa winning it. I liked the Rams too a lot. I don't feel any heat from Green Bay or New Orleans. I just don't know why. It's just I don't feel heat from them whatsoever. But that could just be my internal hate and bias for those two teams, and I hate them all. But you know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the the highlights of the Nickelodeon broadcast on this Saints-Bears game?
I saw a few highlights,
That was wild. Nate Burleson, some of the quotes he had me geeking. I was dying. They were like, well, Nate, like, what do you do if you, like, have to go to the bathroom or something like this? They're like, well, there's, like, a pop-up tent, kids. You know, it's kind of like a porta potty. You just go in there and, like, do your business. I'm like, I'm glad you're telling the kids, like, the kids needed to know that, you know, you can take a piss on the sideline over there. And then someone, was it Mims that dropped that touchdown on the trick play? And because he had like two, like, I guess Nickelodeon people doing the game. He was like, hey man, Nate, you played wide receiver. What happens if you drop a ball like that? He goes, grown ass men on Twitter make death threats to you and your family.
Literally.
And then his coach was like, lit. I was like, wait, what? So that was interesting. I would like to enter the slime zone. And I did love then Drew Brees, when scumbag Sean Payton tried to run that thing up instead of kicking the field goal on 4th and 1, and Drew Brees thought he scored, and he looked into that 8K Madden camera and said, we were going in, and you did not get in, Drew. That's a bad look. Another bad look. Did you see Lamar run off the field after the Titans game?
I did.
What do you think about that?
He does not like Tennessee.
A lot of people don't.
Clearly, they have bad blood based off of that first matchup.
He like tried to pull the whole team off, though. He was like, "Come on!"
He was like, "Let's go." And he came back for his interview, but yeah, he was not saying congrats or good game to nobody.
I hate that. That's such a bad look. Like, you're the quarterback. You're held. Yeah. You're different standard. Like, if you lose, you can leave. Like, I don't give a shit. If you take if you take that L, I don't care. Sportsmanship be damned. You can go if you want to go into the locker room because you're going to be pissed off or whatever. You don't have to shake hands. But if you win, like, you got your first playoff win, kind of enjoy it. Like, go out there, shake hands, say good game or whatever. It's kind of the protocol to do.
Yeah, I agree. Whenever he was doing it, I was like, wait, he's going to come back and like at least go like shake Ryan's hand, right? Or No, he didn't.
Damn. After they already danced on the logo, they went and danced on the logo to get him back. I did like that revenge.
Yeah, I like how that's not a flag. Like
it is. No, they threw a flag. They threw a flag. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't. You didn't see it or show it, and you missed the announcement. But they were 15 yards back from from midfield where they were.
In my head, I was like, how is that not a flag? And then they never announced it or anything. So I guess they're just not calling that.
That was the first thing I said. I said, like, the entire damn defense just ran onto the field.
Damn, the whole sideline's out there just stomping on their freaking logo.
Bad look. I thought he was going to come back out. I thought Harbaugh went in there to yell at him, like, go get your ass out there. or something. But then it was like, no, he's just doing his interview. I was like, oh, okay, Lamar, whatever, dude. You do you, boo-boo, but you should be better. What else? Let's see. All right, game's final. Oh, 52-24, Alabama, your national champions.
Yep, they are officially your national champions.
So they lost by the same score A&M lost by, and they did it in worse fashion.
And they had just saying, Devontae Smith is only out there for one half, and no Jalen Waddle. So.
And let's see, Bama scored the last touchdown with like 12 minutes left, and they scored it against us with like 4. So we were much closer, much more competitive team. Clearly, they should have let us in.
We weren't good enough to play in our game, so
to
be in the playoff.
Yeah, allegedly. But oh yeah, you weren't even here for this Orange. We didn't even talk about the Orange Bowl that we won. But I said Carolina changed their entire offense, and we were not ready for that at all. They went from the number one or number 2 running team in the country.
Yeah, they had 2,000-yard rushers.
Yeah, and they threw the ball like 60 times.
They were just throwing bombs, yeah.
So our entire defense was like, what?
Yeah.
So that was that whole thing. But again, what'd you think about Doug Peterson getting fired?
Oh, yeah, that is today's news.
That is the news of the day.
I just, I don't understand how you mess up that whole situation. But he did a really good job of ruining it in Philly. So
this man won a Super Bowl 3 years ago, has been to the playoffs twice since then, and won a playoff game since then.
Yep, that's what I mean. Like that's not like they've been ass, Like
that's
been the best team in our division. Sadly,
I mean it's the exact same thing the Cowboys did. I mean, I guess you fired Garrett for less, but Garrett didn't win a Super Bowl. It's like
correct.
So. And they said the crazy thing was they said going into that Sunday night game, like he's gonna come back as our head coach. He's gonna have a meeting with Howie Roseman, the owner, and it was like, yeah, he's coming back. And then that whole thing kind of went down.
Jalen and Clay Sudfeld and all the players are like, you're a bitch, dude.
And they kind of, and it was like, oh, I'm glad you did that for 3. You could have played Hurts and easily lost that game. No question. Sure. And still got the 6th pick. You're going to get your boy. I was going to say they were getting Devonta Smith, they said, but I think he's going to go a little bit higher now.
Oh, yeah, he's going higher, dude. He's going 3
or 4.
Yeah, he's going to Miami, I feel like.
If Miami even has those picks anymore, because, that's something we could talk about. We could totally talk about, how about Deshaun Watson wants the hell out of Miami, or out of Houston?
I say good for him. Don't let them waste your good years, Deshaun. You get out.
That is just a dumpster fire of a situation. Who wants that head coaching job?
If I'm Eric Bieniemy or any of these top guys, I do not want that job.
Yeah, psych. I'm saying psych.
I'm out of there.
Oh no, they said. Oh, that was part of his piss. That's why he was pissed, though. He said they didn't interview Eric Bieniemy.
They didn't. That was the only team who did not have a head coach that did not interview Bieniemy was Houston.
And then
Sean was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
and then they also, first of all, why are you paying a hire firm hundreds of thousands of dollars to identify your GM? Like, shouldn't you be able to do that on your own?
Also, this guy, do you know the story on this guy or like anything about this guy that they hired?
The Patriots guy?
Okay, so I've been doing a little bit of insight research, and like, so the guy that hired the Patriots guy is some like public speaker person.
Are you talking about this other Patriot guy that's in the owner, like the assistant to the owner guy that's in Houston?
Yes, he has like some sort of power, and he's the one who brought in this guy from New England.
Yes. So this has been.
I don't know much about him.
I have a little insight on this guy. So I've known about this guy since this happened. They brought this weird guy in from New England. I don't know exactly what he did in New England, but he's been like assistant czar to the owner since old man McNair died and his son took over. And I don't know. Clearly his son is not his dad. His father is whatever. And so this guy's been in his ear, and he's the one that told him to fire all the GMs and make Bill O'Brien the GM. He's the one that got Bill O'Brien to do the Hopkins trade also, apparently.
Right, yes.
And he's the one that told them to ignore the firm because the firm had 2 minority candidates, and that also pissed off Deshaun. They didn't even interview him also, which is like, beyond stupid. Like, you can interview both guys and then hire this guy and say, like, hey, we did our due diligence. Like, like, Deshaun, like, we really think this is the guy. Because apparently this New England guy has the owner's ear. They said it's toxic over there in the front office. Yes. And this came out when Bill O'Brien got fired, I think. And Deshaun clearly hates this cat.
Yes.
And so, I don't know why they're trying to be New England. New England is terrible at drafting. New England is terrible at their front office. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are why New England is good. I don't get it.
I don't know what they're doing. This guy has basically become the person who is running this team. We don't even know what he does or like who he is. And Deshaun, just get out, please, as fast as possible.
I mean, they said he could play hardball, and he's willing to play hardball, which I don't doubt because Deshaun kind of comes off that way a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I've already read stuff where he's saying like, you trade me or like I'm not playing next year. So
he doesn't need to. Fun. He's got guaranteed money. What do you care?
Have fun.
Yeah,
have fun playing with whoever at quarterback, and I'll wait till my stuff is up, and I'll go play somewhere else. So.
Oh, by the way, you still gonna have to pay. You still have to pay me my guaranteed money. Like, that's guaranteed. Apparently, they can get out of it not too bad with the cap situation. But Miami's got the picks to get him. If you're Miami, send Tua. He wants to go to Miami.
That's the thing. Is like, there are going to be teams that are willing to give up whatever they need to get Deshaun. So.
Well, let's be realistic here. Houston also doesn't have any first-round picks because they sent them on Miami. So Miami could literally send them their picks back, give them
take their quarterback.
Give them their quarterback, and then maybe give them a first round next year, another first round next year or whatever. Yeah. Something extra.
If I'm Miami, I'm doing that 100%.
The problem is you become Houston, though. They have 0 skill position players, and that's exactly what Houston is right now. I mean, I guess he has a defense at least.
Receivers, Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker is not – he's not beating he's not beating number 1 corners. They said that's
where does Deshaun go then?
I did like – the problem was the teams with the picks are the teams that need skill players, and they could trade a quarterback to get him, like the Jets, same thing. You can give Darnold and the 3rd pick. Because if you give the 3rd pick and Darnold, then you're cooking. Or the 2nd pick. Because then you could really – because then you don't even need honestly, Houston could then flip Darnold again if they want to take, like, Justin Fields or something, which, again, his draft stock fell tremendously tonight, I would say, because he was not good. But again, it's skill. Who has skill positions that could give up all these assets to get a quarterback that they need? Trying to think. I mean, I expect Matt Stafford to opt out. I hope he opts out of Detroit, and then I expect him to go to Indy or something like that, or San Francisco, because those teams don't have good picks to trade anything to get Deshaun, and then. Who's got to eat? And you got to eat the cap too. Is the problem? Deshaun's contract's insane.
Right. I don't know. He's in a tough spot, but
I was really pissed off when I read that. He was all pissy about like, I don't think there's a commitment to social justice, whatever. Like, well, that was old man McNair. Like, calm down. He was an old kooky Texan guy. But then I read like what they did with the GM hire and the search firm, and I was like, they didn't.
Weird.
And they didn't interview Eric Bieniemy, and I was like, okay, like I get you don't have to interview Eric Bieniemy because there is a kind of a thing with the Andy Reid coaching tree that it's not been perfect. Whatever. Who knows? Eric Bieniemy probably doesn't even want that job. I mean, I guess you do your due diligence if you're a coach. I mean, that's one of the worst jobs ever. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I was very suspect. You got this weird guy in New England. I feel bad for Houston. We like Houston. I mean, come on, man.
Like I like watching them. They're my other Texas team, so it's unfortunate.
Tough.
Deshaun, so
yeah. Let me think. Who? Denver, maybe.
They kind of came through my mind, but like,
what do you have to give them? Your entire drafts for 2 years. I mean, you got two good young receivers.
You do have good young receivers. I don't know.
Somebody said New England. I was like, yeah, no chance New England has the assets to get that.
Yeah, what players would they even know?
Yeah, Deshaun. I mean, it's bad now what Deshaun's throwing to. He gonna be throwing to you and me out there.
Yeah, we just saw Cam struggling over there. I'm not sending Deshaun over there to go through that same crap. No thanks.
Oh no, Deshaun would be so much better. Come on, Dhalston. He can at least throw the football unlike Cam.
Cam can throw sometimes.
Sometimes they said he might go back to Washington with Ron Rivera, which I don't know if I like that for Cam. I don't like that for Washington. they need a fresh start. Just get a nice,
fair,
young guy that didn't go to Ohio State. You know, somebody like that. You know, you don't want to have Kyle Allen or anything like that. Let's see, anything else interesting? NBA hoops is kind of in full, getting into the swing of things. Everybody's getting COVID lately. It's hilarious.
My Cowboys hired a big time DC today.
I did see that. You want to tell everybody who it was?
Oh man, did you know Atlanta's defense was just so good the past like 5 years?
You're gonna take my joke.
Did you know how good they were? Because I had no idea. In fact, I'm pretty sure I watched them plenty of times.
Dhalston.
And wondered, man, they're bad.
Dhalston.
Yet we hired Dan Quinn, baby.
Dhalston, don't worry. You can now blow leads instead of chase leads.
Oh my god.
You're not going to be trailing all game anymore having Dak chase the lead. You're going to get to blow it in the fourth quarter now and watch what is going on with the offense as Mike McCarthy calls 2-yard runs to 500-pound Zeke, and the defense can't stop a nosebleed.
I'm very close to just finding a new team.
Who would be a good new team for you that you could hop on? Let's see. Let's give you an interesting team. We don't need to get you with a bad team. You need like a mediocre, interesting team you could hop on. But some of my Cowboy fans were like, dude, Dan Quinn's gonna make a really good interim head coach next year when we fire McCarthy. I was like, is he?
Oh, no. Stop saying these things to me. I just don't understand. Like, do we not look at past results?
I mean, he did go to the Super Bowl. He was the DC for the Legion of Boom.
Okay, right. So I get the tree that they're trying to bring back the same scheme that we had the past 3 or 4 years before this change, and I get that because he was with Seattle, and that's where Chris Richard was.
And yeah, they're trying to go back. It feels like they're gonna fire Mike McCarthy. Kellen Moore's gonna be the head coach and run that offense, and then like Dan Quinn's the assistant head coach with the old defense. Like it's basically the Jason Garrett era without Jason Garrett as the head coach.
I mean, maybe like just changing his title. I don't know.
Like only focus on defense. He doesn't have that.
Have to do like all the head coaching stuff. Maybe. I mean, Atlanta did have like some decent defensive,
but that was only when Raheem Morris took. How about was it 2 years ago when they were they started off terrible again, and then the coaches switched positions. The offense coached the defense, and the defense coached the offense, and the defense got exponentially better.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, not at all. God,
I don't know. So that's my new coaching staff.
Hey man, you got any I mean, you could look to basketball. The Spurs are they're in the 9 spot.
Yes, sir.
They're 500.
Won our last 3, baby.
Hey, it's big time. Pop looking like a
Spurs and the Lakers and won.
Oh, look at that.
We played the Lakers 3 times already.
Dude, everybody play. Well, have you noticed that you play back-to-backs against the same team? Or not back-to-backs, but you play the same team twice sometimes?
Yeah, we played the Lakers like December 30th. We played them again like December 31st, and then played them again like on the 2nd.
Yes, so it's like
them again last week again.
Yeah, and you'll play them both at home, and then like you'll have like home game, 2 days off, home game again. I think they're doing that to limit the travel because the Sixers have done that. They played Charlotte back to back in Philly. Which speaking of Charlotte, LaMelo Ball can hoop.
He can ball, man. He can hoop for real.
The cat can hoop. I was impressed.
I think he could play, but he's he can actually play.
Like he has potential to be he's not going to be a guy, but that's a point. That's a point guard you want on your team to go make a run.
Right. He can
facilitate and shoot. He's going to be God.
He's just getting started too. Just give him a couple of years.
True. He is a baby.
Man.
He is a baby. But
be nice.
Yeah, other than that, my Sixers looking good until they all caught COVID and they can't win a game now, which is sad. God damn it. Yeah, what else? The Mavericks game got canceled today too. What is up with the NBA? Everybody got damn COVID.
Games this stuff. Was it the games today and tomorrow?
Yeah, I think tomorrow.
They're looking into protocols or something, or they're trying to change some stuff. I don't know, because I guess too many people getting
the contact trace. I think the contact tracing is killing everybody.
Yeah, it's all the one guy tests positive, now that pretty much shuts down the whole team.
Yeah,
so
we got 6 guys out here.
not like in the NFL where you have like position rooms. Like like you're all together. So
and you have the practice squad on top of it to pull up.
Right.
I mean, those are usually just full of skill guys. I mean, and luckily nobody got hit in the NFL with like an offensive line breakout where everybody, on the offensive line died. And I'm being facetious with died. Everybody, calm down. But yeah, weird. All right, I think I was gonna do it for us this week. You got anything else?
Very nice. No, it sounds good. Thanks for having me on, man.
Again, you're officially become a regular now. At this point, it's 2 and 3 weeks. Like,
oh yeah,
God, I'm gonna have to start paying you a salary and health benefits because we're just generating massive amounts of revenue over here.
All the good stuff.
All right, again, everybody, you like this, share it, subscribe. You can get it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all over the place, YouTube. Check us out, and I'll see y'all next week.